SeaLlama opens button against Linus Love, calls from the big blind. SeaLlama makes the standard 1/3 c-bet, and Linus can probably raise for a low frequency, is probably mostly calling. Pretty standard on the turn, just a bet and a call. The river is interesting. SeaLlama bets the pot. And to that, I think for Linus all three options are on the table here. He chooses to shove. If that's a thing, probably pretty low frequency. Can fold, can call, I think. Let's take a look. So in the big blind for Linus, he can 3-bet a little bit with the queen jack here. Then on the flop, the solver chooses a 100% sizing. I think he can go multiple different sizing options here on this flop, but let's just assume that SeaLlama goes with the 30% sizing that he chose only. And with that, he pretty much or almost has a pure bet. He can in fact check with this strong top pair hand. The sizing chooses a pretty big polarizing check raise size for Linus, and definitely his hand can go in there. And indeed a higher frequency call. The solver chooses a sizing close to what SeaLlama did, 5.9 to 6.6. And as I imagined, that is pretty standard action on the turn for both parties, because Linus also has a pure call here. Okay, now interestingly, Linus, or not Linus, the solver chooses a donking strategy for 25%. That is available on this river. We'll just leave it as that. The solver also goes with the 100% sizing on the river, so that's nice. SeaLlama actually had a sizing scheme very close to the solvers. The king queen of clubs can in fact shove for value. And Linus combo here, just as I thought, can go with all three options. Does make for a really good bluff shove and is folding most of the time. Little bit of bluff catching. Very good shove by Linus. It's pretty high frequency. Now let's take a look at SeaLlama's response. And SeaLlama does not have a pure call. Shoot mostly calls, of course, a very strong top 2 pair hand. The main reason it's calling so much, even though Linus has a bunch of straights that the king queen is not blocking, is because Linus can, which is also interesting, the king queen offs that Linus have are full on mixing and can shove or call. So that is a pretty tough spot actually for Linus if he had the king queen off. Should he call or shove? So that is pretty close right there, and because of the king queen is supposed to shove a bunch, the king queen of SeaLlama's is calling mostly, but interestingly is still folding, even though it can beat value shoves. I mean, as in like having the same hand. So that's pretty interesting. So that's it for the video. Thanks for watching.